Good morning. Happy Memorial Day. I'm in my favorite chair in the corner of my house where I do most of my reading, my prayer book that I have, my little notebook that I have names of friends that I pray for, my oldest list that I just scribbled one day where I decided, I don't have a prayer list. My notebook that I have always a pen and pencil right close to me because as I go through things, I think of ideas. So I have several of these. And then it goes in, I take that into my journal. And so today I wanted to first wish you a happy Memorial Day and hope that you started off yesterday with family, with a barbecue, and you get to do some things that you really will enjoy and be able to be with everybody that you love in your life and have a good time. At least reach out and contact them. Holden and I talked probably third or fourth week of the program is reach out to someone you haven't talked to in 3 years, and I think he put 3 years on it. I put just reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while that you enjoy talking to and talk to them. I wrote a couple little notes for myself today, and I almost called this this presentation today the law of polarity. And because of in my reading I read in the book Blessedness by James Allen, it says it basically says our situation is not primarily under control, not because of the situation, but because of how we handle it. And actually, let me read it a little bit better. Our situation is not contained primarily in the situation that you give rise to, but in your mental state, which is what you bring to bear on it. We've been in a pandemic. We've been in a difficult situation, and that situation has good to it as bad. I realized that when I was doing the survey that Phil asked us to fill out. There certainly was a loss of income for me and my business and my people, but there was a great value of personal growth that occurred. I began to realize that I had read this in this book a while back, and in this book it talked about that circumstances are neither negative or positive; they are neutral. And what determines whether they are negative or positive is what we do with them. It's how our mental state comes. We've asked you, Heather and myself and Kristen and I even think Holly has done it quite a bit and Tony has done it, to go into your journal. And the title today is not who you become or what you're grateful for, but why. One of the ways to really trigger your PFC and train it is that when you say, well, today I'm grateful because I had a great time with my grandkids. Last night as I sat there, I said I had a great time with my grandkids today, and I was very thankful for the worship I had in church, the love I had with my family being together, and the time I had with my grandkids. Okay, now that time with those grandkids they were tired and a little whiny, so there was a point where we had to get them out of the grumpy stage, right? So in doing that, we made them laugh a little bit. We had fun with them. But the thing is that when I sat and wrote last night, I didn't just write, I was glad to be with them. My thankfulness in my gratitude journal was because, I had time to spend to start to develop their culture for them so that they will grow in the right way and they will know that there's love around them. The other thing I think that is a huge thing that we have to take away from this as we talk about who I become and what I become is that we begin to be comfortable with ourselves and love ourselves. I heard Ray Lewis, the great linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, speak this weekend. And he talked about how he had to go through life where he could not stand seeing his mother be physically abused. And he talked about the process he went through, how he challenged himself. And he began to get to where he physically challenged himself through those situations. He would get down, he would do push-ups and sit-ups and squats until he was so tired. He was so tired he had to make a decision. Either he was going to quit and give it up, or he was going to power through it. And it made him mentally and physically stronger. So there was a situation that we would say is a horrible situation. But because of the action and the mindset that he had, he transferred this to his physical and his mental toughness that he became known for. So this rule that we're talking about is called the law of polarity. In other words, there is an equal and opposite reaction to everything in life. If you have a flat tire, it's a bad situation for you, right? But it is a good situation for the guy who sells tires down the street. So from that standpoint, I wanted to get you, when you fill out, and please make sure you go and fill that questionnaire out for us that Phil has put out. And you know, right in there, think to both sides of it. Think what you gained out of this program. And not only think what you've gained, but what it meant to you. Who have you become? And why did you want to become that? You wanted a healthier, more vital life. You wanted to maybe have more energy. You wanted to sleep better. Those are things that came out of a situation that was a very negative situation. Because the 55 days to being the best you, I don't believe comes about if there's not this pandemic that makes us sit in our roundtable group of instructors in that and think out of the box with Phil and to come up with this idea. It started if and Phil can correct me on this, but you know, the original thought process, it started when we were talking about maybe making a PDF to teach people how to build their metabolic system and educate them to how viruses work and stuff. And then out of that discussion and Phil's continued discussions, out comes this group that was, hey, let's take our talents and let's give our talents to a group so the sum of us is so much greater than what we can do on our own. So first point of the day, in your gratitude journal, not only what you have gratitude or thankfulness for, but why? What outcome does it have on you? You sleep better, you're happier, you made more money because of it, whatever it is. I want to remind you too that tonight's the last seminar that we have, a webinar, and I want to point that out to you because it's ironic that we're into this program right when high schools and colleges and all that have been going through graduation processes, right? And what's a graduation process? Honestly, it's called a commencement, right? It's called a commencement service. So we're commencing now on this new lifestyle that you guys have really set up through the tools that you've been given in this program. And we really have no idea how it continues on from here. That was the topic of the discussion last Friday for us after we had our coaches roundtable. And I'm sure there'll be more discussion as to what it will look like in the future. So please fill out that questionnaire. Please be on the webinar tonight. And this week, with urgency, focus on these things to work on. Understand there is an equal and opposite reaction. That's a law of physics. There's an equal and opposite reaction for everything that's going on in your life. So if there's a negative, find the positive. If there's a negative, find how you can get to the positive. Find how you can make it a positive, how you make it an opportunity. In 1998, we had wildfires in Daytona Beach where people were cut off from their aid to the fire department. And I went in basically to see my building burned. I was sitting at home watching CNN because they'd run us out of there because the fire lines were getting very close. And I saw in the back of my club, I saw these huge fires because these pine trees were on fire, right? And I get in my car and I said, I can't sit here and watch my building burn. I recognized the back of the building. So I took my car and I went over there. And as I went over there, there's all these guys from the fire department. They're back there fighting their butts off to save my building and houses back in that area. And I said, hey, is there anything I can do? He says, man, we're just tired and hungry. And so right around the corner there's a place called Hooligans. And Hooligans, Tim Curtis is the owner of it, and he was feeding the firefighters. And I had a radio show, so I got on the radio show and said, hey, listen, we have firefighters that are down here and they're fighting and they're cut off. They haven't had any supplies, so we need clean underwear, we need blankets, and all of a sudden my fitness center became a rest station for the firefighters. Hooligans became the center point of distributing water and food and lunches, and people came, volunteers came. It was an amazing thing to be part of because this huge negative that our town was going to burn down because of wildfires. That is certainly an equal and opposite reaction If you go into Hooligans sports pubs in Daytona Beach now, you'll see the remnants of that whatever 20 days it was. So we have to focus 100% on the things we want to do this week with some urgency to it. And why? Because 100% of the things that you want to get done don't get done if you don't start. So I know I've thrown out a lot of things today. Number one, let's sort of review. Law of polarity. There's an equal and opposite reaction for everything. So when you think about the negative things that are going on, there's also a positive that can be gone forward. When you do your gratitude journal, not only say what I'm thankful for today, but why? What's the outcome of that? What did you gain by virtue of that? And the third thing is that our mindset has to look for the solutions and the outcomes that we desire, because this is the commencement of this new, better life that you have found. And we hope that during the course of the day, you are able now to enjoy more of your family and friends on this Memorial Day than you were 50 days ago when this stuff started. Find your favorite spot. Think about your friends that you love and care for. Write down your ideas that you want to make your life by and why. Understand that we're still all in this together. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming forward to help people. And we're committed to you guys in the 55 days having gotten the most out of it. Remember, webinar tonight at 7 o'clock. Fill out your questionnaire so you get it in the prize giveaway, because there's going to be some cool prizes. And finally, have a blessed, wonderful day and enjoy the Memorial Day. Enjoy your family. Barbecue will do what you're going to do. Keep eating healthy. There's not a reason to go wild. Still we can have fun, enjoy, and eat healthy, think healthy, be healthy. God bless you and have a great day.